Well, hello, my YouTube fellows and gals. I don't know what the weather like is in your area, but here it is. Frozen. So, we are on lot 6 today, and I own a used bookstore. And even if you own a Kindle or Nook or you read on the web or whatever gadget you use, you can also use this as a resource place to find out about the kind of books that's out there. I have a Facebook page, and I'll say everything at the end of the video. Plus, if you hit the description below, you will see all the information necessary if you want to get a hold of me and all that good stuff. So, let's begin. We are doing Harlequin Present books today. They're all softbacks, and they are romance because we're still in the month of February. So, the first book is Prodigal Sister. This is by Catherine George. It's got some writing in it. I like you to see the conditions of the book that you're getting. This is my little cheat sheet here, my little receipt. I plucked these off when they were sold, and they're also used for taxes. This is 1984 copyright. Two fiancés at once seemed a bit excessive. Sarah had left her Welsh home under something of a cloud, and she wanted to return with flags flying. So she said she'd be arriving for her sister's wedding with a surprise guest, her fiancé. Only Sarah was the only one to be surprised or rather shocked to find Rupert Clair, her fiancé, entertaining a previous girlfriend in the bedroom of his London home. As luck would have it, the local squire gallantly presented himself as Sarah's intended, and he succeeded in making things infinitely worse because Rupert showed up too. So there is book number 1 in lot 6, and these are $1 a piece. Book number 2, He Had Never Loved by Jeneth Murrey. This is a 1984 copyright. Some writing in there too. That's what the book looks like. These definitely were well loved and read. She'd run out on Piers right after the wedding. Against his family's wishes, Piers had married Lynette instead of his wealthy cousin, Sheena. Their loved one had seemed invincible until the arrival of a certain wedding present that had prompted Piers to accuse Lynette of carrying on with Sheena's brother. Nothing had changed much in 5 years. Piers' desire for Lynette was strong as ever, but not as potent as his belief in her guilt. To reclaim Lynette's love, Piers would have to believe in her innocence, or better still, love her no matter what. So there is book number 2. Book number 3. We have The Color of Midnight by Robyn Donald. This is a 1994 copyright. You can see the, look at that. The speckled edges. Little writing there. I think they have a name for that. And this is what it's about. Stella's sister and Minerva Robertson wanted to know why, with everything to live for, Stella had chosen to die. The only person who might be able to give her an answer was wickedly attractive Nick Perveril, Stella's husband. But he wasn't the conventional grieving widow. What was Minerva to make of him, and should she fight the passion she felt for him? I think it's called flecking. I don't know. There's a word for that when they age. But we like that too in the antique world, so it's all good to me. As long as the story is there, I'll read it. So that is book number 3. Book number 4, we have Bought the Greek's Baby by Jennie Lucas. This is a 2009 copyright. This is what the book looks like. This is what it's about. American beauty Eve Craig found under the spell of a powerful Talos Exanicus in a hot-blooded Athens encounter. Athens. 3 months later, Eve has lost her innocence and her memory, but she's aroused Talos' desire and his anger. She has betrayed him. So, what better way to punish the woman who nearly ruined him than marry and destroy her? Only now she's carrying his love child. So there's book 4. Book number 5, we have Dailey Cantillon by Janet Dailey. This is a 1976 copyright. This is what the book looks like. Look at those red page edges. This is what the book's about. I forgot Amanda Jared's dark eyes mocked her as he spoke. You're wrapped up in those romantic notions about husbands and wives and the happily ever afters. But Amanda kept her secret fear that someday all this happiness must end firmly pushed to the back of her mind. She was determined that the days, weeks, or months spent with Jared would be heaven, because she knew that living without him would be agony. So there's book number 5. Book number 6, Take Hold of Tomorrow by Daphne Clair. This is a 1984 copyright. This is what the book looks like. Usually I do 10, so. Stella had hired temptation personified. Stella Rawson controlled Rawson Electronics not as a decorative figurehead, but as a competent businesswoman her husband Mark's untimely death had forced her to become. She was livid when board members opposed her for choice of highly sensitive management position and accused her of personal rather than professional interest in young ambitious Russ Langford. And Russ's rugged good looks and undeniable virility only weakened her position. When she began to see Russ as more than a business associate, Stella bemoaned her complete lack of discretion in loving so unwisely. So there you go. Book number 6. Book number 7, No Risk Affair by Carole Mortimer. This is a 1985 copyright, so it'll stay right there. Some writing, some aged pages. 1985 copyright, and this is what the book's about. The synopsis. Sin had Robyn running scared. Married at 18, the neglected mother of twins at 19, divorced at 22, Robyn had faced a lot in her marriage to a no-good, selfish charmer. So right from the start, she tried to discourage easygoing author Sinclair Thornton from invading her life. The twins have enough problems adjusting to one part-time father, she informed him. A second one would be just too much. Robyn wanted his caress without emotional intimacy, but Sim wouldn't be satisfied until she went all the way. So there you go. Book number 7. Book number 8. We have Malibu Music by Rosemary Hammond. This is a 1985 copyright. Some writing in it, some age pages. This is what the book's about. A little bend right there, too. California sunshine in her sister's beach house overlooking the ocean at Malibu would do the trick. Bianca hoped the time alone would help her focus on what to do with her life. But her tranquility was short-lived. Her neighbor, Carrie Richards, projected an intensely appealing image and tried to seduce her. When that didn't work, he took on a more vulnerable role and offered friendship. He seemed absolutely open, frank, and sincere, unless it was all an act. At times, he too was good-natured, altogether too sure of himself and the effect he had on her. So there you go. Book number 8. And this is book number 9. Tempestuous Affair by Carole Mortimer. It's a 1984 copyright. You'll see a little piece taken out there. Definitely aged. And this is what it's about. She would never stop loving him. Walking out on Joel Sutherland had not been easy. He'd given Lindsay some of the most wonderful times she had ever known in London, but they'd also been the most heart-wrenching. For a man who held her heart steadfastly, refused to believe in love, right from the start, he'd made his position painfully clear. Offering Lindsay a live-in arrangement instead of a loving commitment she longed for. And she fooled herself into thinking he would change his mind about love and marriage until she came face to face with a woman from his past who tied his heart in knots. So there's book number 9. Book number 10. We have An Unwilling Desire by Carole Mortimer. This is a 1984 copyright. Some writing in the front. That's what the book looks like, and this is the synopsis. Holly had encouraged the affections of her boss, James Benedict, and she couldn't bear the thought of being held responsible for the final breakup of his marriage to Maxine, not when she already had one ruined marriage on her conscience. To prove her innocence, she went along with Zach Benedict's risky scheme to make his brother jealous enough to overcome his crippling disability and reclaim his estranged wife's love. But when Zach's desire for Holly overshadowed his concern for his brother's happiness, Holly tried desperately to avoid the accusations from her own disabling past. So there you have it. 10 books, lot 6. 10 for 10 or $1 a piece. And then how you do it is you get a hold of me at tammysmakeuptreats@gmail.com or Minda's Bookstore and More on Facebook. You send me a message and then I send you a link once it's posted in my Etsy, and then you pick it up and check out just like you do any other checkout. So with that, I thank you all for watching my videos, and I hope you stay blessed and stay safe wherever you're at. And I will see you soon. Bye.